Ladies and gentlemen, draw near, because tonight we're about to uncover a truth that moves like a current beneath the surface of your life, subtle yet undeniable. It's a force that operates in silence, but its impact echoes loud and clear when you finally see it for what it is. We're talking about why people compete with you quietly. Oh, you've sensed it, haven't you? That unspoken rivalry, that hidden contest you didn't sign up for, that quiet struggle from someone who smiles in your presence, but measures their worth against yours in secret. Stay with me now, because we're going to peel back the layers of this mystery, and I promise you, when we're done, you'll not only understand it, you'll know how to stand tall, unshaken, and unstoppable in the face of it. Picture this. You're walking your path, your heart ablaze with purpose. You're not out to prove anything to anyone. You're just doing what you were born to do. Maybe it's a business you're building brick by brick, a skill you've honed through years of sweat, a dream that keeps you up at night because it's just that big. You're moving forward, not perfect, but persistent. People see you, they nod, they clap, they say the right things. But then there's that one person, or maybe a few, who's playing a different game. They don't announce it. They don't challenge you outright. No, their competition is quiet. It's in the way they watch you a little too closely, ask questions that probe a little too deep, or offer praise that feels just a touch hollow. You feel it in your gut, something's off. And then it hits you. They're not just observing you. They're competing with you, silently, secretly, relentlessly. Now let's pause right there, because this is where the suspense begins to build. Why the secrecy? Why not come out and say it? Why not lay their cards on the table and compete openly? That's the question that keeps you up at night, isn't it? You're not imagining things. This quiet competition is real, and it's rooted in something deeper than you might think. It's not just about what you're doing, it's about what your life represents to them. Your progress, your courage, your very existence is holding up a mirror, and they're seeing something in it that unsettles them. Your light is shining, and it's exposing their shadows. Your steps forward are reminding them of the steps they haven't taken. And instead of rising to meet their own potential, they've chosen to compete with you quietly, carefully, covertly. Let's dig into this, because there's a story here that needs telling. Imagine a young woman gifted with a voice that could move mountains. She wasn't born into privilege. She came from a place where dreams like hers were dismissed as fantasies. But she had a fire inside her, a vision that wouldn't let her quit. She sang in small venues, practiced in empty rooms, poured her soul into every note. One day she got her chance, a performance that could open doors she'd only dreamed of. The crowd was captivated, the applause was thunderous, and for the first time she felt her dream was within reach. But there was someone close to her, someone she trusted, who started to change. This friend didn't celebrate her the way you'd expect. Their compliments were laced with something sharp, their questions carried a hint of doubt. "How are you going to keep this up?" they'd ask, or "Don't you think it's a lot for you to handle?" And then, in a moment of raw honesty, the friend let it slip. "You're getting all this attention now, but what about the rest of us?" That was the moment the quiet competition became unmistakable. Can you feel the weight of that? Because this isn't just her story, it's yours. Maybe it's not a stage or a song, but it's your gift, your calling, your purpose. And there's someone out there who's not just watching you, they're running a race against you, one you didn't even know you were in. Their competition is quiet, but it's real, and it's driven by something you need to understand if you're going to rise above it. See, when people compete with you quietly, it's not because they hate you. It's not even because they want to see you fail. It's because they're wrestling with themselves. Your life is a reminder of what they could be, what they could do, what they could achieve if they dared to step out. But instead of stepping out, they step into comparison. And comparison, my friends, is a thief that robs them of their peace and tries to steal your joy. Now let's slow down and let this sink in, because this is where the tension builds. When that quiet competition becomes obvious, it's a crossroads moment for you. You've got a choice to make, and the world is watching to see what you'll do. You could let it shake you. You could start second guessing yourself, wondering if you're doing too much, shining too bright, dreaming too big. You could try to make them comfortable, dim your light, slow your pace, just to keep the peace. Or, and this is the path I'm urging you to take, you can stand firm, embrace your purpose, and keep moving forward with a boldness that says, "I was created for this, and no one's silent rivalry will hold me back." That's the suspense, isn't it? The pull between pleasing others and honoring the vision burning inside you. And let me tell you, your decision in this moment will shape your destiny. Let's go deeper, because there's something slippery about quiet competition. It's not loud like an argument or obvious like a challenge. It hides in the details. It's in the way they mimic your moves, not to learn from you, but to outdo you. It's in the way they celebrate your wins just loud enough to be seen, but never loud enough to mean it. It's in the way they ask about your plans, not because they care, but because they're keeping score. And here's the thing, it's so quiet, so subtle, that you might start to doubt yourself. You might wonder if you're being paranoid, if you're reading too much into it. But you're not. Your instincts are telling you the truth, and the sooner you recognize it, the stronger you'll be. So why do they do it? Why compete in silence? Because quiet competition is safe for them. It lets them challenge you without risking their pride. It lets them measure themselves against you without admitting they're doing it. It lets them stay in the game without ever having to face their own fears. See, if they competed openly, they'd have to own their ambition, their dreams, their desire to be more. But that takes courage, and not everyone has it. So they choose the shadows. They watch you, they compare, they copy, they critique, all in silence, all in secret. But here's the twist. Their quiet competition isn't just about them. It's a test for you. It's a challenge to see if you'll stay true to your purpose or get distracted by their game. Let me tell you another story to drive this home. There was a man who started a small business, nothing fancy, just a dream he believed in. He worked long hours, made sacrifices, learned from his mistakes. Slowly but surely, his business began to grow. Customers loved him, his reputation spread, and people started to take notice. But there was someone in his circle, a colleague he'd known for years, who didn't react the way you'd hope. This colleague started asking pointed questions about his profits, his plans, his strategies. They'd drop comments like, "That's great, but I heard the market's tough right now," or "You're lucky things worked out for you." At first, the man brushed it off, but then he noticed something else. This colleague was copying his ideas, tweaking them just enough to call them their own. They weren't stealing outright, but they were competing quietly, strategically, relentlessly. Now, here's where the story gets gripping. That man had a choice. He could have gotten angry, confronted his colleague, or let the competition consume him. He could have slowed down, played it safe, tried to keep everyone happy. But he didn't. He looked at his business, his dream, his purpose, and he decided it was worth more than someone else's silent rivalry. He kept innovating, kept serving, kept growing. And years later, when his business was thriving beyond anything he'd imagined, he realized something profound. That quiet competition wasn't his burden to carry. It was his colleagues. And by choosing to stay focused, he didn't just save his dream, he became a beacon for others who were watching. Can you see yourself in that? Because this is your moment. You're out there doing your thing, living your purpose. And there's someone, or maybe more than one, who's competing with you quietly. Their rivalry is subtle, but it's real, and it's tempting to let it pull you off course. But I'm here to tell you, don't. Don't let their silent race become your distraction. Don't let their shadows dim your light. You were created to shine, to build, to create, to leave a mark on this world that no one else can. And when their competition becomes obvious, it's not a signal to stop, it's a sign that you're on the right track. Let's shift gears now, because I want to talk about what happens when you keep going. See, quiet competition doesn't just reveal what's in someone else's heart. It tests what's in yours. When you feel that subtle pressure, when you sense that silent rivalry, it's an invitation to check yourself. Are you secure in who you are? Are you clear about why you're doing what you're doing? Because if you're not, their competition can pull you into a trap. You might start comparing yourself too, wondering if you're enough, if you're worthy of the success you're chasing. You might start chasing their approval instead of your purpose. And that, my friends, is where dreams go to die. But here's the good news. You don't have to fall into that trap. You can choose to anchor yourself in something deeper, something unshakable. You can decide that your worth doesn't come from their applause or their critique. You can decide that your purpose is bigger than their rivalry. And when you make that choice, something incredible happens. Their quiet competition loses its grip. It becomes irrelevant, a background hum you no longer notice. You start to see it for what it is, a sign that you're stepping into something significant, something that's shaking things up, something that's making a difference. Let's build the suspense here, because this is a pivotal moment. You're standing at the edge of your greatness. You've got a vision, a dream, a purpose that's pulling you forward. But there's resistance, isn't there? There's that quiet competition, watching your every move, measuring your every step. What are you going to do? Are you going to shrink back, play small, and let their silent rivalry dictate your pace? Or are you going to rise up, step into your calling, and show the world what you're made of? The choice is yours, and the world is holding its breath, waiting to see what you'll choose. Now, let's talk about how to handle it when their quiet competition becomes obvious, because this is where you take control. First, see it for what it is. Don't dismiss it, don't ignore it, but don't let it consume you either. Recognize that their rivalry is about them, not you. It's their struggle, their comparison, their battle. Naming it gives you power over it. It's no longer a vague unease, it's just competition, and it's not your race to run. Second, protect your focus. Quiet competition is designed to distract you, to pull you off course. So guard your vision like a treasure. Surround yourself with people who lift you up, who celebrate your wins, who aren't threatened by your growth. And when you're around those who compete in silence, keep your eyes on your purpose, not their actions. Don't let their moves rent space in your mind. Third, keep moving. The best response to quiet competition is relentless progress. Let their rivalry be a reminder that you're doing something worth noticing. Every time you sense that silent challenge, let it push you to work harder, dream bigger, live bolder. Show them and yourself that competition can't slow you down. And finally, rise above. This one's not easy, but it's powerful. When someone's competing with you quietly, it's tempting to match their energy, to get petty, to play their game. But you're better than that. You can choose to respond with grace, with strength, with the confidence that says, I see what you're doing, but I'm not here for that. That doesn't mean you let them take advantage of you. It means you set boundaries, but you do it with a heart that's free from bitterness. Because their quiet competition is their issue, not yours. Let me bring this full circle, because we're not just talking about surviving quiet competition, we're talking about thriving in spite of it. When their rivalry becomes obvious, it's a sign that you're stepping into your purpose. It's a signal that you're breaking new ground, that you're living a life that matters. And yes, it's uncomfortable. Yes, it's challenging, but it's also a gift. It's a reminder that your life has impact, that your purpose has power, that your dreams are worth fighting for. So here's my challenge to you tonight. The next time you sense that quiet competition, the next time you feel that silent rivalry pressing against you, don't flinch. Don't back down. Stand tall, look it in the eye, and keep moving forward. Let their competition be a milestone, a marker that says, you're doing something extraordinary. Let it push you to be bolder, to dream bigger, to live louder. Because you were created for more than smallness. You were created for impact, for influence, for a purpose that changes the world. And when you do that, something remarkable happens. You don't just overcome their quiet competition, you outshine it. You become a light that inspires others to rise above their own struggles. You show the world what it looks like to live with purpose, to walk with courage, to stand firm in the face of resistance. And in that moment, their rivalry doesn't just become obvious, it becomes irrelevant. So go out there, my friends, shine bright, dream big, live bold. And when their quiet competition reveals itself, let it be a reminder that you're exactly where you're supposed to be. The world is waiting and your time is now.